Ever dreamed of creating stunning 3D animations but thought it was way too complicated or time consuming? Well, not anymore. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create fantastic 3D animations without any effort, no coding, no complex software, and definitely no animation degree needed. So let's dive in. First tool I'm going to use in this tutorial is called Krikey.ai. After logging in using this button on the top right, you will land to this page. In this page you can see that there are many items on the left. The first item is tutorials, and in tutorials you can see all type of tutorials you need to start with Krikey.ai. However, if you are short in time and you need something short and summarized to watch and start with Krikey.ai, then this tutorial will give you all the fundamentals. Next is the Magic Studio, and in Magic Studio you can create a template, so you will not start from scratch. You will just choose a template and insert your edits on it. So if you are creating something like YouTube channel related video, you can choose this template for example, and you can see whether this template is for free or requires subscription. So Krikey is free to use, however it will give you more powerful tools whenever you upgrade or pay for a subscription. So you can use it for free, but it will be way much better if you paid, so that you can remove a watermark and access unlimited resources. So if you like this template, you can head to use this template. And now you can see that your template is in front of you. You can see that there is a script that you can edit on it based on your script or the video you are creating. Just double click on this text for example, delete it and write whatever you want based on your script. You can do the exact same thing in the below text. You can also choose the language, and they have literally all the languages in here. You can choose the voiceover, and you also can see a description of some of the voiceovers, like for example Roth, friendly voice, Nickel, serious. So it will give you like a hint of the type of voice. Once you choose a specific voice, you can preview this voice using this button. And now after creating our template, you can see that it contains many layers, like Photoshop for example. You can see that we almost have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different layers. We will discover them one by one. So the first layer is the animation layer. In this layer you can control how your animation speaks or uses his body language or uses his gestures. So for example we have here like 6 different animations. Let's see the first one for example. This is the intro talk. Then this is the blee. Next, point right. Then point right again. Then double something, double dance. Then point right again. So if you want to change any of these animations, you can just click on it and click on replace, and now you have different categories that you can choose from. So if you want to create like an explain or video, you can head to this type, and now you can see the pro animations and the free ones. So you can see that almost most of the scenes are in the pro version. That's why I'm telling you that you can use the free version, but it's gonna be way much better if you subscribed. So you can navigate between different layers, and you can also see a preview of them showed in front of you. So if you want this one for example, you can click on it and it will be replaced in a matter of seconds. Now let's check it out. See, it has changed. So the first few seconds has changed its body language.
Krikey.ai. We're so excited to be
And so on and so forth. You can change any of these 6 animations or any of these 5 animations by just clicking on it, choose replace, and then choose a specific category. Now let's move on to the next layer, which is the background. In the background, you can see that in the first layer it has used a restaurant of an open air view, and in the middle it didn't use any background, and in the end it used Earth Day background. So if you want to change like this restaurant, for example, you can click on replace. Then you have many options to choose from. You can upload an image from your device, you can use AI, or you can use one of the preset images created by Krikey. So if I chose AI, for example, and I want to create something like this presented in the background, so I can, for example, write an outdoor restaurant with yellow umbrellas and wooden chairs and trees. Now you can use generate image, or you can use surprise me to create something random. Almost there. And here we go. This is our image. So if you want to add it, you can just click on it and it will replace the current background. See? Now it has replaced it completely. You can also click on it to access more options, like for example resizing image. You can make it zoomed in or zoomed out like this. You can move down or up. And definitely you can move left and right. Now let's move on to the next layer, which is Earth Day. You can rotate and resize. So each image will have its different options based on the type of the image. So basically this is a 360-degree image. This is why it allows rotation. If you want to move this image to the left or to the right, you can do it so that you can place it in front of a different scene of your 3D video. You can also click on the edge to make it like longer and last for longer duration. Now let's move on to the third layer, which is the camera. And in camera it decides the type of zooming or the type of orientation of your camera to your animator or to your character. So for example, we have here wide shot, and we have here another wide shot, and we have at the end close-up shot. So you can see that in the close-up shot the character is zoomed in, while in the wide shot it's zoomed out. You can also replace these type of different screen or different camera orientation by clicking on replace, and again you will find many different type of cameras. So if you want like selfie left, like she is talking to she is like a blogger and she is making a reel, or she is doing a live video, you can choose this selfie left. Now you can rotate up and down, and you can also zoom. So let's choose another one, because this one makes her face not clear enough. This one is better, I think. And you can see that it has the same two options. You can also use a tilt down view. Let's see how it works.
Magic free project. Then type your script.
See, it's
Explore our
tilting.
library of animations to bring your character to life. Have fun and remember to share your video.
Now let's choose it again. You can also see that you can use front back, left and right views. And there are some other amazing cameras that I want to show you an option in it, which is the wide shot. The wide shot have this property of follow character, which means that whenever your character moves, the camera will move with it. So if we played this video,
Bring your character to life. Have fun and remember to share your video. Thanks for animating with Krikey.ai.
I need to apply like a rotation first. I didn't activate it, sorry. You can also rotate left and right. You can rotate up and down, slide left, right, slide up, down. You can also control the camera distance, and you can zoom in or out. So let's try it now after enabling the follow character option.
Animations to bring your character to life.
See,
Have fun and
the camera is moving with the character.
Thanks for
It's
animating
following the
with
character.
Krikey.ai.
So this option is great if you want to focus on the character while moving. Now moving on to the next layer, which is lights. I'm going to expand the layer section so that I can easily access on it. By clicking on lights, you control the highlights of or how your brightness of your character will look like. So this brightness or this lights is called the 3-point. If you want to replace it, you can see a different set of lights. So for example, if you are creating like a scary movie or a scary video, you can head to scary, and you can see that your character now looks scary because the Krikey control the lights so that it will look like an evil person. You can also choose cool soft, for example, and you can see different brightness and filters. Next layer is the dialogue, and if you access the dialogue from here, you will not be able to edit it, but you can just control the volume of the character. But if you want to edit the script itself, you shall go to Magic Studio and choose create your audio. Then you will be able to access the script and edit on it as we did in the beginning of the video. Next is the present layer. And in present layer, you can access to like a screen recording or a specific image to project it. So it's different from background because background will take all the dimensions of your background, but in project or in present, you will only get a specific part of the background because it looks like something that you are presenting to your audience, like a screen or something, and your character is emphasizing and describing what it contains. So you can also change the image itself that you are presenting by going to the replace mode, then going to this part. And as we did before in the background, you have many options. You can generate with AI, for example. You can click on surprise me so that it will create a random image for you, or you can use upload so that you can upload an image from your device, or you can use a gallery to access different images and photos that exist and are created by Krikey.ai. And now it has just created a random image that you can choose as a present so that your character is describing what it contains. You can also control to resize image so that it will be like a background, or you can just move left and right, or you can move up and down, just like this. You can also apply the same setting to all the clips existing in your video. Now next layer is the face, and in face it controls the facial expression of your character. So I'm going to the first scene because it shows my character zoomed in, and you can see that it has a happy gesture or happy facial expression. You can also use angry so that it will look angry while describing, or idle without giving happy or sad expressions. You can also do the same to all the 5 scenes or the 6 or 7 scenes. Next is the effects. So we have many effects in Krikey.ai. You can see that we have like single fire, idle bump, and double click, so that double click will look good while you are projecting or presenting a specific thing. So if we chose this, for example, you can see that it's like you are describing something in this present. You can also move it to a specific part of your screen. So you can control all of these effects by clicking on it. And if you clicked on one of these effects, you can access more options like replacing, as we did, and frame per second. You can change the opacity, and you can use to flip the effect like this. So this is pretty much all the layers that are contained in our templates. You can also access these layers not only from the layer box down there, but also you can go to the video and click on whatever you want. So for example, if I clicked on my character, I will have 3 out of these layers in front of me. The face, which we accessed in here, the animation, which we accessed at the beginning, and the move character. You can choose to move the character to left or right like this, forward and backward. So if you want your character to be like existing in this restaurant, you can move backwards so that she exists in here, in there, not only describing or explaining something in a video. You can also move up and down like this, rotate, and control the size, just so she can be like a giant, or she can be like an ordinary person like this. So this is how you can control the layers of Krikey.ai. You can also access these left options. So if we clicked on animation, we will access the same layer as we did in here. If we clicked on character, you can access all the different characters. So if you don't like this character, for example, you can choose a different person, like this guy or this doctor. You can also choose different backgrounds as we did from the layers from this layer, and you can access more options where you can access other paid options like the audio, the face, the hands. In hands, you can control how the hands of this person move. So if I chose this and I want to zoom in, let's move down. So you can see that his hand or body language changed. See? You can also choose different effects like we did, and access different filters like black and white, for example. And you can also collapse this more option. We have also this top menu which shows more options like the settings, in which we can apply animation smoothing, joint smoothing, and gravity. And by gravity, you are just making your character staying on the ground. Joint smoothing and animation smoothing makes your animation like more realistic, not just like interrupted animation. You can also allow spatial audio, which means that if we zoomed out or zoomed in, the volume of the character will change. The more we zoom out, the lower his or her voice are. You can also access more options like move playhead with clips, or to a new clip, and so on and so forth. You can also resize your project from here based on what you will upload it on. So if you are going to upload it like a story, you can use this on Instagram, or you can use post dimensions on Instagram as well. So it depends on which platform and the type of post that you are going to use this video on. You can also use translate so that the character talk in a different language, and you can also change the voice as we did before. You can also use quick translate in case you are in a hurry, but it's a paid property. And you can also take photos or captures or a screenshot from your animation or 3D animation content like this. You can allow transparent background so that only the character will appear. You can use the image as manual, presentation, square, or mobile based on the dimensions. And once you are done, you can go and click on capture. And you can see that your project is automatically saved on a cloud, so that if you accidentally shut down the website, it will be saved on a cloud so that you can start from where you stopped, not from the early beginning. So once you are done, you can go to download and choose the file format and head to download. Now we have two options: whether to get a one-time license, which will allow you to always download videos from Krikey for $7.1. It's just one time, and you will not have to pay for it monthly or yearly. It's just for one time. Or you can just free export, but we will have watermark in your video. Once you are done, it will take some time to export your video and download it on your device. So this was the first tool that we used to create 3D animation content. Let's move on to the next tool. Moving on to the next tool, which is called Mixamo. Unlike Krikey.ai, Mixamo will not help you to create a full video, but it will help you to create an animation or a character and do some sort of animation to this character. So let's see how it works. After logging in or signing up, you will land to this page. First of all, you need to choose your character. This is done by choosing characters from the top. Now choose something that suits the content you are creating. So if you are confused with all these results, because it contains like 3 pages, and each page contains about 50 results, so we are talking about 150 different characters. So you can always go to search and search on any type of character you want. For now, I'm going to choose some ordinary character like this ninja. And now, after choosing the character, we need to apply some sort of animations to this ninja. You can see that you can view this ninja in 360 degrees. You can also enable skeleton view so that only the skeleton appears. You can rotate, you can pan, you can zoom, you can reset camera, and you can toggle follow camera. So once you choose your character, head to animations to choose what kind of movement this character will make. So for example, if you want to create a ninja who is fighting, you can go to search and choose compact, for example. Now it will show you all the results of compact. So you can choose something that fits a ninja. This one is good. This one is amazing. Let's choose this one. Each animation or each movement you choose, you will be able to access more options, and these options will be different with each different animation results. So here we have overdrive, that you can see it kinda makes the movement faster, and if we decreased, it's slower. So if you want to create something in slow motion, you can choose overdrive to be slow. You can also choose the character arm space. You can increase it like this, see, or you can reduce it like this. I think the high one looks better. And now you can trim. You can trim from the total frames. So this animation contains 68 frames. You can use all, or you can choose to trim some of it. And if we chose negative, it means that the movement will be reverted to backward after the movement is done. So I can choose from 0 to 100, and we have also this mirror option, which reflects or makes your character 180-degree reversed. So I think this is the best result so far. Once you are done, you can go to download and click on download after choosing the format, the skin or without skin, the frames per second, and the keyframe reduction. For both the frames per second and keyframe reduction, as they increase, this means that the animation gets smoother. If you want to create something which is smooth and look realistic, you can increase the FPS or frames per second and keyframe reduction. However, if you want it to look intentionally animated, you will decrease these results. So I'm going to click on download. And now it's downloading my result. I will just wait for a couple of seconds. And once it's done, you can head to your downloads to use it. But there is a simple trick. If you opened this downloaded file with 3D Viewer, you will find that it will reject your request. So you can see that it says couldn't load 3D model, because 3D Viewer is set by default not to accept external FBX files. So what you need to do is to go to help, choose settings, then enable this open FBX files into on. And now let's try again. I opened a wrong one. I'm going to open this. And now you can see that it has been uploaded, or it has been accessed successfully. You can, from 3D Viewer, change the theme. For example, if you want to add like different themes like this one, you can choose different rotation and different lights. And you can change the environment. Perfect. So we have created a character and applied animations to it using Mixamo. Third tool for today is Spline. I'm going to log in first. Now it's gonna ask you about the plan that you want to enroll for. So I'm going to head to free plan. Then it will ask you what kind of thing you want to build. You can build 2D designs and 3D designs. So I'm going to pick 3D. Then start creating. So Spline gave me like a scene, a ready scene as a trial, and I can change it anyway. But I'm going to tell you first about this interface, because I think that you might find it distractive or overwhelming, because it contains many options. So we said in this tutorial that we are going to discuss easy and effortless ways. So don't get deceived, it's very easy and basic tool. So the first thing I'm going to start exploring is this left menu. In left menu, it contains all the objects that make your design or template. So we have 4 different objects: the directional light, which gives this color to this figure, if we hide it, you can see that the color itself changed. It gives it like a specific light or brightness. The camera, the text itself, which is the most important part, and PG objects, which are these weird objects or these weird figures. So if you want to edit on any of these parts, just click on it. If we want to edit on the text, we just click on here, and it will open this right menu, which contains all the properties that you can use to change it, to change how your text or how your object looks like. Starting with states. And by the way, I'm not going to explore all these things, I'm just going to explore the most important ones. So I'm going to skip the viewport and the states. In events, it controls where your text or where your object is located. You can change it by using the X, Y, and Z coordinates. You can also choose to enlarge it in any direction. So if we choose to enlarge it in the X-axis, it will enlarge it like this. It increased it in the horizontal direction. If we chose the Y-axis, it will increase it in the vertical direction. And if we increase it in the Z direction, it will increase its thickness like this. Also, you can add different rotations in the X, Y, and Z direction like this. So not only you can control the position from the coordinates, but also by going to this object, drag it and keep moving until you drop it into a specific place. Next is the material. In material, it shows you all the parts that compose this object, which is the text. You can see that it's composed of two things. First thing is the dot, which is this dot, and second thing is the text itself, which is everything but the dot. So you can access each part of the object and control its properties. For example, I can add different effects to this dot by choosing one of these effects, for example, and increase its effectiveness into 100, for example, so that the full effect will be applied. So now you can see that the effect appears better. You can also control the color of this part. You can control it as local colors or just all libraries. And you can control how bright the color is. You can add any of these effects the way you want. And you can also change its name. You can do the same exact thing to the second part, which is the text itself. You can choose it not to be a gradient. As you can see, you can change different gradients of this text by dragging each color into a different color zone, just like that. Perfect. You can also change the type of gradient, whether it's linear or radial, or even polar. Next is the cloner. In Cloner, it enables you to clone this object. So if I enable the cloning, you can find that it has cloned my object into another object. You can also consider or choose the type of cloning. It can be radial, for example, or it can be linear as we did before. It can also be a grid so that it will cover the whole screen. It can also be just one object. You can also control the amount of cloning. So if I chose to choose the grid, I can also hide the base, which is the original object, while leaving the clones. You can also increase the amount of clones from here. So if I chose grid now, you can see that the number increased. And you can edit the positioning, scale and rotation of the clones from here. You can also rename your objects by double clicking on it. Then you can edit the name using your keyboard. You can control how your object is viewed from this little circle downward. You can access templates using templates here, where you will be able to choose objects, categorize them, and search for a specific object. You can also search for scenes, like this one for example. You can also access the stop menu with more options, like this add, or you can add AI generated or templates. Let's try AI generated. It will require you to upgrade, of course. Templates are the same as we accessed in here. You can also insert different shapes. You can access AI generated also from here, but it will require again upgrading. You can add shapes from here instead of having to go to the plus sign to add them. You can add a comment, you can edit the frame, and you can control the zooming. Once you are done, you can click on export, or you can preview your scene first, so that if you are satisfied with it, you can go ahead and use it. Now you can click on export, where you will have multiple options. You can export it as files like image, video, recording, 3D formats, and more. You can also export it as mobile platform or web version. If you want to download it as an image, you can use image in here, and it will give you the preview of your project. You can also change the ratio from here, but it also requires upgrading. And after you are done, you can click on export, and it will be all ready for you. So if you're interested in creating characters instead of 3D figures like we did in the two previous tools with Krikey.ai and Mixamo, then you can head to templates and choose character, where you will find multiple characters that you can use to build your scene. Moving on to the fourth website, which is called Vectary. And Vectary is amazing when it comes to creating items, equipment, and tools that you can use on your website. So let's say that you have a store which sells mobile accessories. So Vectary is very amazing when it comes to creating such accessories so that you can display them on your website. After signing up, you will be directed in here. To start creating a project, you can either go to Workspace or Explore. In case of Explore, it will just show you some categories that you can use from different types of categories. If you want to start from scratch, you can go to My Workspace, then choose New Project. And once you do this, you will be able to select whether you want to start from scratch using blank, or import a specific project, or use light setup. So I'm going to go back and choose one of their preset items, then I'm going to show you how we can apply some edits on them. So I'm heading to Explore, and now let's pick one of these items. Let's pick Add Stickers from Figma. it will redirect you to one of their tutorial videos. So each one of these videos will show you a tutorial that you can watch so that you can learn how you can apply effects on different projects. So if you are
textures to our entire object using solely Figma frames alongside some basic material adjustment.
If you are short on time and you have no time to watch all these tutorials, then watch these next 10 to 15 minutes as we will talk about all the features and all the changes that you can make to a project. So I'm going to head to my workspace again, then choose the project I created before. So on top, if we click on more options, you will find that you can return to your dashboard, edit by undo and redo. Also, it gives you the hotkeys for these commands. You can also export your file, you can import a file from your device, and you can access settings. In this left menu, you can see two tabs, which are project and workspaces. In project, it shows you all the components of your project. Since our project is still empty, we don't have any elements in here. You can also double click on the project name to rename it. You can add shapes from these top comments, but if you want something ready like mockups, you can head to workspaces. Then it will show you all these mockups. You can also search for a specific mockup if you want. So if you want to create like a computer, you can click on this. So your mockup has been added successfully, and by clicking on it you will find this right menu appears. So starting with this command to move your item on the X and Y axis. This is the X axis and this is the Y axis. So if I chose to move my X axis to 100, it will just switch it to the right. If I chose to make my Y axis as 100, it will shift it to the front, and if I chose my Z axis as 100, it will just lift it above. Next is rotation. It's the same exact idea. You can rotate your device on the X axis, Y axis, and Z axis. Next is the scale, which describes how large your equipment is. So if I chose 10 on the X axis, it will expand it like this, to the Y axis and to the Z axis. Next is the sizing of your equipment. If I chose 5, for example, it will be reduced. And you can also do the same with the Y-axis and Z-axis. Next is materials, and in materials you can see all the materials that compose this computer. You can also see the materials from the left menu, where the computer is composed of 4 different materials. So if you want to add any edits on one of these components, you can just click on it, like the screen for example, by choosing select object. Then you will be able to access to change properties like the color, for example, the roughness, the metalness, the opacity, the emission, the normal map. You can also access advanced options from here. You can also decompose your tool by going to there and drag one object like this. So we just took the screen out. You can zoom it in or out and you can view your object in 360 degrees. Now I'm going to choose fed view. So this is how you can edit your object. You have other options above, like select, mark to get a specific selection, lasso to do a specific selection by selecting in a freehand tool, same as magic tool in Photoshop. So you have all types of select from here, either to select by clicking, by dragging inside a box, by lasso, or by free painting, or even select all the equipment or all the objects in your design. Next, you can insert tools like box, for example, or any shapes. Let's just delete this computer. I have hidden all of them from this eye icon. This is in case you want to start from scratch and not to use their mockups, but you want to create something your own. You can also add a sphere. And you can add any type of shape you want. Next is the lighting. You can change the lighting of your objects from point light, like this. You can add spotlight, for example. Or you can add directional light. And to drag it, you need to drag it from this green icon, or this green circle, or drag it from this gizmo. Now let's just hide everything, or I want to start from scratch so that nothing is busy, so that we can see all what we add. So I will add another mockup from workspaces, and I'm going to choose something simple like a mug. Then click on fed view. Now if you want to add an array, you can go to array here and choose the type of array you want. So if you want it linear, you can choose it. Here is also radial, grid. You can choose array object. Let's just go back for a couple of steps. You can choose array object. And any other type of arrays from this menu. Now we have effects that we can add to our object. For example, bending it or twisting it. There are some other type of edits. Let's for example try spherify. See, you can change its shape with these effects. So once you are done editing your object, you can go to animate, so that you can add some sort of animations to your project or your object. To see the default animation added by Vectary, you can click on this resume icon, and you can see that there is no animation, so we need to add an animation right now. So I started a new project to show you how we can exactly do animations. So I'm going to workspaces and pick an item. Let's for example pick this watch. Then I'm going to fit view. You can see here many symbols. This arrow will move the clock or watch in the same direction, while the cube will resize the item in the same direction. And if you want to rotate an item, you can click on this circle. So you can see that there are 3 circles in here. The blue one, which can rotate your object across the x-axis, the red one, which can rotate it across the z-axis, and the green one here, which can rotate your object across the y-axis. So if you want to create an animation, you can head to animate, but then your animation is empty. This is why in the previous project we couldn't animate our project, because our item, because there was nothing in here. So you need first to, so now we have this bar here. You need to click on this circle, then start making a specific action like rotating this watch. And now let's watch our animation again. So our animation has been applied successfully. So basically you need first to go to animate, then choose this circle, then do a specific action like rotating your object or zooming in or zooming out so that it will be animated in front of other users. Now let's rotate it back, then let's watch the animation. So this part that happened was during rotating my watch. If I want to correct something wrong in my animation like this, I will need to repeat the process. Or I can just select one animation like this. So this animation is the one with the problem. So I can just click on it and delete it like this. Then returning back to this one and do the same exact process. Click on it, then rotate my watch like this. Now if I watch my animation, I will try again. In a new animation, so that I will start from a clear point. I will just delete this one and I'm going to, so I just refreshed my page and now it's working pretty good. Perfect. Now there is another tab which is called interact, and in interact it uses both animation and an action or a trigger. By choosing to add an interaction, you need to add a trigger first. Let's say for example unclick. Once someone click on this object, unclick on this object and target is anywhere. Then I need to choose condition. So I'm going to choose AR. Now I need to choose an action. The action is going to be animation. Then I'm going to use animation number 2 and I'm going to use a delay of 0 seconds. This means that once someone click on this object, it will start animating by rotating as it did before. Now by exiting camera and clicking anywhere on this background in the design tab, you will access the scene menu, in which you can control the environment and the background. Environment allows you to control the intensity of your background, the rotation. You can also control how your object will look like. So by decreasing intensity, for example, you can see that there are some shadows in here. You can also add some effects like saturation and adding shadows. You can also change background by going to background there and choose different color for your background. You can also choose a gradient of colors from which you can choose from. And you can also control the brightness and saturation. So basically, environment or backgrounds help you to choose an appropriate background for your and the surrounding for your object to be displayed by other users. Now, the last thing we are going to do with Vectary is to add a logo to our watch. So let's delete this watch, for example, and pick another new one from the workspace, then choosing Vectary elements, then search for a similar watch like this one. Let's do the same thing. Let's rotate the watch, then zoom in, just like that, more rotation, and I will go to background and choose environment, then choose something brighter, just like this, because I'm interested in this spot. I will build a logo in this area, so I'm going to choose let's see, I'm going to this drop down menu and choose 3D text. Then I'm going to write the text as one of the brand of the watch brands. Now I just need to adjust this text on this port. So I'm going to pick this text and move it like this, then I'm going to rotate it from this circle. Now I'm going to pick it up by choosing 3D text, then drop it on this circle. Then I'm going to just resize it so that it will fit into this small circle. Like that. Then I will change its color into a black one from color, then choosing a black color like this, and perfect, you have your trademark or your brand name on the watch successfully. So in this tutorial we have talked about 4 main 3D content creation tools without any effort. The first one was Krikey.ai, the second one was Mixamo, the third one was Spline, and the fourth one was Vectary. Tell us in the comment section down below which one of the 4 sites you liked the best and you will use in the future. So this is it for now, guys, and this is it for our episode. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in more tutorials. Until then, take care and goodbye. See you in the next episode.